Boys and girls, welcome back to Fallout New Vegas Old World Blues. First and foremost, apologizing, this video is a day late because I just missed my Fallout Friday scheduled upload because one, I've been kind of sick and my energy levels have been being divided very meticulously because another TLDR within the TLDR. I have an immune system disorder, so whenever I get sick, I get stupidly sick no matter what it is, so I've just been not feeling great. No one cares. Back to this. I've been bulk recording Call of Duty Black Ops so I can get that video and post it ahead of time because that playthrough is riddled with copyright claims that I just don't want to ever deal with. So now that that's out of the way, last episode we talked to everybody in the sink. We did all their not companion, but side quests that they offer, which brings us to opening the menu outside in the danger. We still have the X2 mission, and then we still have the field research mission, which we can't do until we enter the Forbidden Zone, which is locked as of right now. So if we do X2, this mission isn't going to be super hard to do just because we have pretty much everything that we're not supposed to have by the time we do this mission, because this is the first mission most people do when they enter Big Mountain. They go from here, they go to X2. That is the intended path of progression the developers wanted to do. Go from talking to everybody to go into X2. I basically did it backwards. So I went and got everything else, and now we're going to X2, which is going to make it super easy because I have the force field gun, which will make just getting in and out of that place way easier than it needs to be. I also realized that I'm not wearing any armor, and my stealth suit is broken, so one sec, let's head back up to the sink. Maybe I can afford to repair it. So even though it helped me last episode, I am going to sell these and those. I found a radiation suit somewhere, but I don't need it. And I am actually not realizing how much money the sink doesn't have, so give me that back. Actually, give me that back too, and I'll just give you this. And let's confirm that, exit out.
Might I be of service, sir?
Let me access your repair feature, and I am roughly 1,400-ish caps shy of being able to repair this, which is interesting, because I'm not sure if I have any other armor. I have Benny's suit. Would I have any other armor?
Baby, let's turn off the lights and turn on the lights.
Perhaps later. I'm busy not being a simp. So, worst case scenario, I might just have to wear Dr. Klein's scrubs. Also, last episode, the episode before, I said the next time we came in here, this room would all be full, but apparently I've missed quite a bit of seeds, so maybe at some point I go looking for all the seeds. It's not like I'm a stealth build anyway, it's more so just the novelty of wearing the stealth suit. The stealth suit as armor actually isn't that good as armor. It really does, it's a stealth suit. It makes you stealthier. It doesn't really offer a lot in terms of protection, so what I'm wearing right now, which am I still wearing it? Yeah, Dr. Klein's scrubs, in terms of it just straight up being armor, actually isn't that much worse. So I might just have to deal with that because I can't afford to repair the stealth suit, and I sold all the combat armor last time to be able to afford to repair the stealth suit. So that is what it is, but let's make our way towards X2. Unless enemies have respawned, this path should be relatively clear. Because, yeah, this is the way I went to Higgs Village, and I've cleared out the enemies that have respawned at Higgs Village like 4 times. There's the remains right there. As I say that, we get shot from where I was just looking. The noise actually is quite unpleasant to hear. The solution to that would just be don't take damage, dumbass. But that begs the question, how many times are these guys set to spawn in? Because I've killed that exact spawn of enemy like 3-4 times? Like, if these enemies just respawn perpetually, that's fine. I just didn't know. While I like to claim that I'm a pretty smart man when it comes to some things in Fallout, specifically New Vegas, I'm not an expert. Like, I can have a pretty in-depth discussion about most of the stuff in the game, but if you're gonna ask me to name everything about everything, that's not possible. For me, at least. I'm sure there's somebody out there that can do it, but it is not me. Now, before I enter that, is there anything at the top of this? Because sometimes they just put random loot at the top of peaks. There is. There's a thump. Or this is just a grenade launcher. And hella drugs. And then 40mm grenades, and then those guys spawned in below me. Dear Lord, okay. They probably wanted me to use the grenade rifle I just picked up, but I'm kind of dumb. And then this is kind of where me having armor that sucks is really a problem, because I'm gonna take more damage than I probably should be, forcing me to use more healing than I probably should. But, oh well, it's the risk I understood. I am overweight by 8 pounds. What can I do to fix this? Go ahead and just repair this with that. That brings it down 3. It's just so much random stuff. Like, I guess I don't need the 22, I don't need the Ripper. That's valuable enough that I should keep it to sell, but do I really need it? And that gets us underweight enough to go along with our life for the time being. So, we will figure out what else to do along the way. That's gonna hurt a lot if I drop down that way, so let's go back this way. And hope that more enemies don't respawn. Anyway, let's go inside, because once we're inside, we'll probably have to fight some robots, and then once we get up top, we'll have to escape robo-scorpions, but I'm pretty sure that won't be that hard. Well, we had to fight a robot. X2 might not have a lot of enemies in it because this is like the first place you're expected to go, so they might have eased you into the DLC. So let's take our time and loot, because I'm safe for the time being, but the second we do get outside, it's going to not be safe pretty quickly. I don't imagine I'll be in danger to the point where I'll have to worry about my life, but we will have to formulate a pretty witty escape pretty quickly. Ammo and ammo. Thank you. Very cool. Based on how much stuff they give you in this building, this is definitely where you're meant to go, like towards the beginning. So if I go out this door, does it trigger the enemies, or do I have to do the thing first before it triggers the enemies?
Klein, as useless as the bottle of the same name. Well, except as an example of an object that uselessly tries to fulfill its purpose.
So even though this guy spawned in, he's not who I'm worried about. Robo-scorpions spawn in after you do the thing, but let's kill this guy and at least get him out of the way, so it's one less thing to worry about. Let's see, is there anything else up here? Some bottle caps and some more bottle caps and some bullets. So for the record, the escape route we're gonna take is we're just gonna come out that door and then go that way into the radar fence, which teleports us back to the sink. Like, it might seem like the dumb way to go about it, but I don't have a lot of armor, and I'd rather just do that than take a fight with things that are gonna hurt me. Anyway, back inside, up the ladder we go. Excuse me, up the ladder we go. And then these are the things you can shoot through if you want to pick off the enemies from up here, but I think we're just gonna do it the way I said, so grab the antenna.
Trying to steal the H2 transit.
And now I'm over encumbered. I'm just gonna take buff out. We became addicted to it, nah, whatever. Go back inside, run out the door.
I see you.
Don't run off the edge. Run off this edge and then just sprint in this direction.
You have stolen from X2.
And then, like I said, you'll just get teleported back to the sink. Is that the fun way to do it? Absolutely not. People probably want to see me fight the robot scorpions, but that is the way I did it because didn't want to take damage. And then while I'm here, let's just come in here and stow some things away. The All-American is broken. I'm probably not going to use Christine's sniper that much. I'll keep Dr. Klein's glove in here until the sinks thing refreshes and I can sell it. I don't need the grenade launcher. And then I don't need the X2 antenna either, because it's the blueprints that we got from it is all we needed. And then because this is broken, let's just offload that while we're at it too, because we can't use it. So that's sorted out now. Let's go talk to the auto doc and get rid of our addictions if possible.
Require some additional services?
I think a basic physical exam will cure addiction. He doesn't talk to you after the procedure's over. All right, let me check. Am I addicted? I'm still under the effect of buff out, so I guess I won't know yet. All right. Go down to the think tank. What's my quest? What am I doing currently? Is this the part where they are lined up talking? No, not yet, okay. Dr. Klein, what's up, my brother?
Did you retrieve the technologies yet? We need them, as I have indicated.
You guys should know. We covered this at the very beginning, I think, whenever, like, you said that if I survive, it doesn't really matter because all you have to do is get the blueprints, which get, like, sent back to you automatically, so you probably should already know that.
What? You did? Your survival, let alone success, barely registered in my projections. Now, all I need to do is check my transmission databank. Mobius is always filling it up with his psychotic calls. Oh yes, there's the schematics, just like you said. How truthful.
Do these technologies have the information you need?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Yes, what?
No. I mean, yes. You just need to analyze these technologies for a moment. They are extremely advanced, you know?
Do you even know what these technologies do?
I know how these technologies work. Of course I know. If you remember, we described them in clearly abstract, contradictory statements before. Why would we do that if we weren't certain on how to use them? Yes, so let me... a bit, huh? I'll figure it out.
Science 65. Look, the antenna focuses brainwave patterns, right?
Yes, that's what I believe I said.
And the suit's a cardiac regulator and sonic frequency, and a spinal vibrator is a spinal vibrator.
I've got it. The cardiac regulator in the suit, the antenna for brain waves, and the sonic frequency for the vertebral nerves.
Yes?
I'm thinking. This is all very complicated. Let me check something. Of course. I have it. The override sequence to open the Forbidden Zone door is hidden in the schematics. Well, not hidden. It's actually right there, behind the programming equivalent of coffee stains. It's embedded in what seems to be recursive code. It's badly commented there and there. Oh, and null pointers very sloppy, Mobius. You see, using the antenna to boost the emitter's sonic frequency, and the stealth suit to bypass the Forbidden Zone lock, yes, that could work. Was that my plan? It must have been. Sometimes I truly surprise myself. The door is open, and now Mobius will get his.
Science 85. Don't these items seem more biologically focused than that, though?
Biological? Ridiculous. I mean, technically, these items could all be used to put you back together once you had your brain. But for now, they can be used in the name of aggression. The door should be unsealed. Now, instead of being subjected to threats, we can now send an equally threatening message to Mobius. And that message is science. Deliver this message, and Big Mountain shall be freed from Mobius's reign of terror. You can go now. That's your cue.
Okay, very cool. So, like I said previous episodes, once we did X2, the funneling to the end of the story for this DLC is gonna go by pretty quickly. Alright, so going out the front door got me killed. Let's come up here and fast travel.
The eye of Mobius sees you.
Alright, these ones are on steroids. These Robo-Scorpions are very tough.
Scorpion, will you?
So after I take care of these initial group of little guys, I gotta drug up. There's a lot of these guys, and these are the tougher ones.
You won't escape me.
As he runs away. Let's get some energy cells back at the very least before I heal up and drug up and go inside. However, once we're inside, there's an easier way to deal with what's inside. That's very vague, but I need to actually realize what the chain of events is before we comment on it. Okay. Buff out War Op just in time. Okay. Let's heal up and drug up before we head inside. Take some passive healing items. Take another buff out. That'll get us to that, which is pretty much all we need. They said I needed the stealth suit to get in. I don't have that on. Can I still get in?
Attention visitors. Combat experiment in progress. Please put on your goggles and take man! The X-42 giant robo-scorpion is alive! X-42, attack!
Alright, I have the sprint mod, so that cheesed that a little bit. A lot of people aren't gonna have the sprint mod. So I made it to a safe place. So let's heal up again immediately. There's the holotape you need. Yeah, now's not the time for a pop-up. There's the holotape you need. If you keep running this way, I'm pretty sure this is the terminal for the giant scorpion. Very hard locks, but I'm a very smart boy. And just like that, we're in. And if you want to skip the boss battle with the giant robo-scorpion, initiate emergency shutdown.
This is Mobius, Dr. Mobius. We're initiating some kind of emergency test shutdown. In 5, 4, as in forbidden, 3, as in tree, 2, as in two Brutus, 1, as in none. Oh look, the emergency overload is initiating.
And just like that, it's over. If you want to fight the thing, you can fight the thing, but I don't have armor. So me cheesing it with my sprint mod, which might upset some people, but I don't really care, is one of the ways to do it. If you want another way to do it legitimately within the New Vegas vanilla sandbox of things that it offers to you, I think in Dead Money, there's an implant, or maybe it's not even Dead Money. Somewhere you can get something called Implant GRX, I believe, and that will slow down time and allow you to basically do what I did, but instead of sprinting past the robot, everything will be in slow motion, but you'll be moving at normal speed. And of course, if you want to just duke it out with the robot, you're going to want to drug the hell up. You're going to want to have stuff that'll protect you from whatever damage type that enemy deals, and you're going to want to use this terminal to activate those guys that'll help you, or at the very least, they'll be cannon fodder so you can lay down damage. And then you can kill it that way too, but I did it my way. I did it my way type beat, so. And then, I'm not gonna lie, I don't know what this terminal does. Okay, so this might be a way to weaken the robot scorpion's damage output. This will probably help you if you want to take the duke it out option. Only really mentioned that it would reduce the damage of the laser, so I don't know. You guys can find out if you want to if you take the other option. But with that said, let's head in and talk to Dr. Mobius. Oh, that's a stupid-ass design. For Big Mountain being full of geniuses, that's a dumbass design for how rails work. Okay, try again. And this is the insanity version of the think tank. There's Dr. Mobius. He's actually not a threat, spoiler alert. Where are his... I'm looking for on the floor where he, has scribblings written down. Maybe I have a mod installed that overwrites his scribblings. Or maybe those are the scribbles. I think that's what those are supposed to be. I think one of the mods I have installed is, overwriting a texture here, because, Dr. Mobius, all these white lines on the floor I think are supposed to be calculations and formulas and stuff of him just writing stuff down and going insane. Yeah, you can kind of see it there from an angle. But if you're right on top of it, it doesn't look like a lot. And as always, if you come into these rooms, there's probably going to be loot everywhere, especially in this building, because this is like an ended dungeon scenario. If you want to go through all these file cabinets, I'm sure there's stuff in there. I'm not going to do that, though. Proton axe if you're into it. More file cabinets if you're into it. There's some psycho. Let me explore the other rooms and we'll talk to Mobius. More psycho, scientist scrubs. Ah, yes, the Mentats room. Mentats don't weigh anything, at least in the version of the game I play. If you play on hardcore mode, they might, but... Or survival mode? I don't know which one it is. One of the... If you play on the hardest mode, they might weigh something, but if you're just playing the game normally, they don't weigh anything. So, yeah, take all the Mentats. And then you can either use them at your own pace or just sell them, which is what I'll probably end up doing. Then there's one last room that doesn't appear to have anything in it. Alright, that's everything. Let's go talk to Mobius. Come here, buddy. Nope, I lied. There's ammo boxes. Dr. Mobius's scrubs, I'll take them. I'm not sure what they really offer me. I could check. I don't really care to, though. Alright, let's talk, Mobius. Come here, buddy.
Hmm? Yo, hello there. You are there, aren't you? Forgive my confusion. So hard to tell these days. You seem familiar somehow. I'm guessing, you're here for your brain, perhaps? It's just up there. Such a nice brain, young, very bright. Little hard to see you. Can you walk into my left, right FOV cone? Ah, that's it. You're coming into focus nicely.
Is that better?
Depth perception is a problem with this old monitor of mine. Went black a while ago. That's old age for you. Should look at getting the visual nerves reattached. It's just that the right eye would see the wrong things. Flying tortoises were the worst. Would you care for a mentat?
I'll save it for later.
I love mentats. Delicious and smarty. I have all sorts of amazingly science-orific thoughts and ideas when those chalky tablets are zipping through my biogel. I forget them all not long after, though, especially with the data constipating my memory core. Afraid binary streams might shoot out my chassis. Had to start using the dome floor and walls here to inscribe equations, although I've somewhat lost track of where they start and end.
You aren't exactly what I was expecting.
Really? That implies preconceived notions, theories, and a hypothesis about this meeting? Please extrapolate. What was I supposed to be like? After all, it might be worth a cognitive realignment if your theoretical Mobius is better than I.
Surprisingly, there's not actually a direct answer to what he asked. There's no option. He asked us what he was supposed to be like based on what we had gathered before we actually met him, and there isn't an option. I need my brain back.
Do you? You seem fine without it. And does it even want to go back with you? Maybe you should ask it. It's quite independent, has all manner of opinions. Tell you what, I'll leave it up to your brain. If it wants to go, then fine. If not, well, you should respect its wishes.
If it's your first time playing Old World Blues as we level up, you probably might be shocked that Dr. Mobius is actually harmless. The tough guy evil villain act was literally just an act to keep the think tank occupied, which we can find out if we ask him more questions.
Oh, curiosity. I experience that less now that I know everything. Or maybe it was when I found out some unpleasant answers.
Repair 75. I can't fix your monitor, but if you're getting ghost reception, I can fix that.
The ghosts aren't real? That changes everything. Why, I can save my computing power for other perceptual impossibilities. Please be my guest. The receptor is there, and the side-switching wobbly bob, just turn that. Good, good, better. Oh, yes, that feels wonderful. This is even better than my afternoon mentats break.
Now, let's just skip to the point of what I was just talking about. You don't seem aggressive. Why broadcast threats to the think tank?
Oh, I was probably tripping hard on Psycho when I sent that. Had to work myself up to it. Not usually violent, except when I am. Then, watch out! So many chems, such varieties. Whenever I take Mentats, I can feel my entire chassis breathe like a big spherical lung. As for the Psycho, sometimes get the chem dispositories in my tank all switched up. Go in the wrong tube. Still, served its purpose. Well, every scientist needs an army. Mine came to me after these rather large scorpions kept coming in from the desert, like poisonous frosting. How scary, I thought. But they had survived when nothing else had. Perfect candidates for improvement as a reward for their tenacity. Then I thought, what if they shot energy bolts and acted as walking eyes and data-drained computers and acted as bullhorns? Then I made them bigger. Then I thought about custard. I do so love custard. Or was it mustard? Mustard custard. I miss sugars and salts.
Wait, sounds like you built the Robo-Scorpions issued threats to keep the think tank occupied.
Did I? Maybe I did. Can't have them leaving. Some reason for it. Ethics or, con-science? You and your brain are quite alike. I'm sure it knows the raisins better than I do.
Everything you've told me doesn't add up. Your plan, even your name. Mobius.
Dr. Mobius. Rather catchy, isn't it? It's my name, and my new name overwrote the old one. This name's as real as you or I, although I believe your brain expressed similar incredulity at the nature of such an appellation. Someone's been watching too many old-world science fiction movies, it said. I believe it meant me. I must admit I have a vulnerability for holotape fantasies of planets and robots and all that is forbidden. As for the name I was born with, like the think tank, we were all reprogrammed to forget them, take on new names. It enforces the recursion loop in our perception programming.
Science 50, you reprogrammed their names as a part of a recursion loop, what, to trap their processors?
Now, trap is a rather harsh word, like excrement. Not an inappropriate word, but still rather harsh. But, yes, I did take some liberties with their programming. It's all right, they don't remember. I certainly didn't until you said trap, and then I said excrement, and then...
A recursion loop is designed to prevent the flow of information, so...
The radar fence to keep the think tank hemmed in wasn't really enough. They keep testing things. They would have found a way to disarm it. I suspect I have Plan 9s in place, but I may have coded myself to forget them, just in case. They're probably very dangerous, lethal, or worse. So I had to do something else to keep them occupied here, or as you like to say, trapped. I prefer to have several Plan 9s in case the 7s fail.
Alright, so I got the, you probably saw it. If this turns into a short, I'm explaining it for them. We got the Wild Wasteland pop up in the top left. So that dialogue we just heard may or may not have been exclusive to the Wild Wasteland perk. I'm not sure what he would have said, or if that even would have been an option if we didn't have Wild Wasteland, but Intelligence 7 Klein, Mobius, 0's a circle, 8's an infinity symbol. They're all loops, I get it.
Oh, you figured it out. No pun intended. Dr. O, which is actually not his real name multiplied, since you can't multiply his real name in the first place. Ouroboros, Klein, they have all forgotten themselves. And not only themselves, but the world, sense of time and history. All that is left is what's here. I reprogrammed their chronometers, geometers, and cartography programs. This is now their world, here, Big Mountain. It was a merciful lobotomy, really, thinking back. they were my friends, but sometimes they would take things too far. And the world isn't ready for that kind of too-far thing-taking. That's my professional opinion, anyway. And I am told I was once quiet professional.
Yeah, if I didn't get this intelligence check, that's actually what I was about to explain. But yeah, there's not really a good or bad side here. Mobius, air quotes, betrayed his friends, but it was for like the betterment of the entire planet, because you've seen the things that they've created here that have already escaped out of containment, like the Night Stalkers and the Cazadors and other things I'm sure they would have made. I guess even Rex to an extent, because the robot dog thing, but like, I think it's gonna come up whenever we talk to the think tank, probably next episode. Basically, they were gonna use the rest of the world outside of the Big Empty as their own experimental playground and just run whatever experiments and tests on whatever they found. So, while Mobius, air quotes, betrayed his friends, it was basically to save the rest of the world, so take that how you will. But Intelligence 7, minor detail, but a snake devouring its own tail is an Ouroboros, not an Ouroboros.
Really? It is so unlike me to make an error in anything I do.
If you lobotomize the think tank, why terrorize them?
Well, it's simple. Despite their many failings, they are rather bright. They are the think tank for a reason. That I didn't change. Without something to distract them, make them afraid, they would simply deduce what had happened. And when they start deucing it up, then you came along, the final variable solved. They saw that their world was larger than they perceived. Bacteria, finally able to see its host.
Which is my next question, because we weren't the first person to come from the wasteland to come here. Like, in the scheme of New Vegas, we were the fourth important person to come here, but like, there had to have been other people before that.
There have been other visitors to make them doubt their perceptions, but you are the one who dialed back their monitor micromagnifiers. You were irrefutable proof that there was a world outside. And then there was the whole brain fiasco, which forced me to take steps. See, your brain had a special kind of wrinkle, a uniquity that they had never thought to try in all their countless escape attempts.
Perception 7, the bullet that went into my brain? Doc Mitchell tried to patch me up, but...
Yes, very good. I should have mentats in just you instead of the other way around. Mentats. In any event, you showed up at the think tank, and because you had suffered a cranial injury in just the right place, bullets in the head are usually much more fatal, and yours was a light case of bullet headitis. But it was enough for the autodoc in the sink to change its programming to fix the problem, and the brain extraction technology for once worked. That gave the think tank the knowledge its brains couldn't possess. With that knowledge, the procedure can be reversed. If they obtain that procedural data, they can use it to mush and modify their cranial selves into hosts to slip past the radar fence. I'm sure of it. And once they're off the reservation...
So if I don't get my brain back in my head, I can't leave ever?
Oh no. I doubt your brain would be so unreasonable. It already knows the trick of it, you see. Doesn't need to be in a host body at all. If you become friends or exist in an uneasy truce with weapons aimed at each other, it would unlock the fence for you. Well, once the think tank was dealt with, of course, your brain is a responsible sort. Doesn't want mad scientists running around everywhere.
Intelligence 7, Klein said they had the idea to get the 3 technologies after your broadcast. Coincidence?
I consider coincidence to be profanity, along with the words astrology, herbal tea, and luck. So watch it, potty mouth. My threat broadcast is designed to instill and install fear. And along with the emotional download, other data rides the fear carrier wave. It prompted them to focus on retrieving those technologies and bring them to attack me. And coincidentally, pardon my language, all those technologies are needed to put a brain, your brain, back into its skull properly.
Was there any was there any other data transmitted in your threat broadcast?
Yes, my overly aggressive cammed up broadcast was designed to keep reinforcing the forget, fear, rinse, and repeat program. Oh, and the get me the things to castrate your only possible escape attempt. But I couldn't delete you or your arrival any more than I could the other visitors. Only so much science can do when you started talking to them. You're really quite difficult to ignore, you know. It's because you're, well, rather intriguing, if you'll forgive an old brain for saying so.
I'm just glad you put it that way and didn't do what Dr. Dalla did. Which begs the question, what does Dr. Dalla's name mean? We already talked about Zero being a loop. An Ouroboros is a snake that eats itself, eight's an infinity loop. What is Dalla? I know Oxhorn made a video on it. I know I've seen that video. I know at some point I knew the information on that. I just don't remember right now, but is there any other questions that are important for just asking him things? Because we're probably never going to talk to Dr. Mobius again. The Think Tank downloaded the schematics, not the items. They can rebuild them.
Oh, that means my plan is a total failure. That is unfortunate. Oh well, at least I tried.
Alright, well, smart man, just willing to admit when he messed up. What is the purpose of the technologies? We already know that. We literally already know that. We talked to Dr. Klein earlier in the episode. What other things do you have to say? Why did I steal my brain?
Oh, a variety of reasons. You're something of a homily. Anomaly? You're really quite special, and not in the cranially challenged way. You see, you are the most successful brain extraction experiment ever performed here at Big Mountain. A victim of your own success, as it were. If you were to go back with what your brain knows about the procedure, well, your brain could be popped back in and you could walk right out of here. Can't have brains moving around of their own volition.
Why is that a problem?
I'm not sure, except that I'm sure there's a very good reason for it. I have very good reasons for almost everything I do. Even if I forget them occasionally. Although I feel this one is especially important. Oh, well.
Well, let's go back one more time. I'm pretty sure that brings us to the end.
Yes.
Yep, that's pretty much every dialogue option with Mobius explored. Now we have the option of ending it aggressively where we fight him in a boss battle, which I don't want to do because he's just a silly, goofy old brain running around doing his experiments, doing calculations and calculating data. Like, there's no reason to be mean to him. And you can just say goodbye, which is what we're gonna do.
Indeed. The goodbye part of our little chat, then. Goodbye. Please mind the equations on the floor.
And then we leveled up, but unfortunately, or fortunately, depending on your perspective on it, we're at the point where every skill I care about is already maxed, so get barter to 40, I guess, and melee weapons to 30, sure. And it's a perk level, no way. I'm sure at some point there was a perk during my last level up, during my last recording session that I said I wanted to take. I can't remember. Misfortune? It might have been Misfortune. Let's take Misfortune. And like I said, if you want to fight Mobius, that's an option. You can do that. We got the noise again. Hello? No, put the gun away. I don't know if that was a carryover from when we got it during the dialogue or if something else just happened, but whatever. Like I said, you can fight Mobius if you want to. If you're going down that path of just scorched earth, I am happy to hear it, bro. You can do that. I don't want to. There's no reason to. Like, we didn't even fight the giant robot scorpion, so why would we fight Mobius? But that's where we're gonna end this episode, because after talking with Mobius, this episode got lengthened out quite a bit. Bro, can you stop talking? He's singing his song about connecting bones to things. So next episode, we'll go up the steps, we'll talk to my brain, we'll go back to the think tank, deal with them, and then we'll see what happens for the rest of the Big Mountain DLC. I do want to go around and explore the places I haven't been to, even if they're not important, but we'll come to that bridge when we come to that bridge. So until next time, if you've liked the video, like and comment down below, subscribe if you're new to the channel, and I will talk to you next episode. A pizza.